Now, how can you take advantage of that? How can you use that? How can you handle an entry based on this? Today, I'm going to be showcasing a possible setup, a possible opportunity that might have been missed and how you could have dealt with it. I did not get to take the trade, but I am going to kind of cover it and what you could have possibly done. Now, I'll tell you this. There is a very distinct difference between a strategy and an analysis. That being said, what I want to do quickly, I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. I want to analyze the market. So, you're looking at gold. I can see that gold as of right now has been bearish, right? So you can see that, yes, gold has been bearish. Cool. I'm not making any specific trend line or anything like that. I'm just seeing here that it's bearish, right? That being said, as of right here, when I zoom in, as of right here, you'll realize that there's a distinct rejection at this level specifically. And then it proceeds to move up from there. Now, automatically, a few things trigger in my head. What is the significance of this move all of a sudden? Why? Why did it move up from down here? Is this a reversal? Now, I don't know if I would consider it to be a reversal because there are many taps on this low, but I do want to consider it to be going back bullish, which is to align with the overall direction. And if I were to look at it specifically right here, at least from October last year, gold has been bullish, which in my opinion suggests that this bear move is an induction. Now, on a higher time frame such as maybe the 4, where you can actually see where there are two distinct lows. Again, I still don't think I'll consider it to be a reversal, but I digress. Now, what I really want is, in my opinion, now is a good time to try to identify how you can possibly handle a possible entry here. So what I would do is I would look for areas, the very specific areas where liquidity might be. Now that automatically stands out as one. Another one that stands out to me would probably be something like this area here. And I'll tell you why this is so important, right? In my opinion, I feel like right here is the liquidity. And the reason for that is on the lower time frame, this is a move, especially maybe like the 1 minute. This is a move where it went up, it shut down, grabbed liquidity, and is now pushing back up. And let me see if I can identify that for you. There you go. So it went up, it shut down, grabbed liquidity, and then is moving back up. This tells me that there's definitely liquidity in this area. Now, how can you take advantage of that? How can you use that? How can you handle an entry based on this? What I would then insinuate is the next time it gets to this area, you can do it a few ways. You can actually wait for price to get back to this area. You can buy it right there, put your stop loss below here. Typically, I would recommend a 10 pip stop, but it varies based on the type of trader you are. This is why I said that there's a very distinct difference between a strategy and an analysis. The analysis suggests that it's going to continue bullish because, again, it's definitely trying to align with the overall direction. The strategy can differ from trader to trader because, obviously, there are many strategies that work. There are many different ways you can approach an entry right here, right? And so, like I said, you can wait for price to run into this area, you buy it right here and wait for it to go back up. You can wait for price to run into this area, let it go back up, and then wait for it to actually start to show you an entry, and then you take it. There are many different ways that you can do it. Maybe if you wanted to put moving averages on your chart and do that, you can do that as well. It varies. But let's see what actually ends up happening. It runs very close into that area. Now, in a case like this, many traders would see that and say, right, cool, let's take the buy right there without any hesitation. If you wanted to do that, you use a long position right here. And in a case like this, that's a pretty wide stop. So you can do a few things. If you wanted to hold this trade, if you wanted to use that stop, like a 50 pip stop, right? So let's just make that 53 pips, right? You would need to have minimum a 1 to 3 in order for that to be worth your while. Alright, so you're looking at something like that. I don't think that is feasible as of right now, but I digress. That's what you would need that. What I would recommend is maybe putting a stop below this area, right? And I think that's actually much more doable. if you are not using like a tight stop. You have a 1 to 3. I think that's much more doable. 1 to 3, you have it as 30 pips, and you call that George, right? And let's see what actually ends up happening. It actually comes really, really close to doing what you wanted it to do. And there you go. There you go. All right? Beautiful. Effortless. Now, again, the only reason why I'm showing you this is not to show that 10 pip stop loss. That is the way that I do it. I use a 10 pip stop, but there are many ways that you can do it. And as I grow and gain experience more and more every day as a trader, I am realizing more and more that you don't have to limit yourself to a 10 pip stop if that doesn't align with you as a person. This is why I say that there's a very distinct difference between a strategy and an analysis. That being said, don't be afraid to experiment with what works and what doesn't work for you. I can assure you that many traders cannot use a tight stop such as like a 10 pip stop because it's just not feasible. They don't have the accuracy. And that's fine. Learn to lean into what works and what doesn't work,